and the flood waters up to the rafters.
And they're standing on the rooftops, praying for something that floats.
Ooh, somebody tell me now, why does it always take some kind of natural disaster
For us to realize we're all in the same boat.
When we all come together, that's how we weather the sorrow.
It's got me feeling hopeful. There's gonna be a brighter tomorrow. Well, no matter what your troubles, this world's gonna keep on turning. And come tomorrow morning, the sun's coming up again. Yes, it is. But until it does, I'll make a promise to you. I'll come running and do the best I can to lend you a helping hand.
When we all come together, that's how we weather the sorrow.
And it's got me feeling hopeful. There's gonna be a brighter tomorrow.
Even when your faith is sinking,
One thing you can believe in. When we all come together, that's how we weather the sorrow. And it's got me feeling hopeful. There's gonna be a brighter tomorrow. When we all come together, that's how we weather the sorrow. Yeah. And it's got me feeling hopeful. There's gonna be a brighter tomorrow. Well, when we all come together, that's how we weather the sorrow. And it's got me feeling hopeful. There's gonna be a brighter tomorrow.
brighter tomorrow.
Gonna be a
If we all come together.
sun coming up again, sun coming up again, yeah.
Hey, hey. Let me get you guys on screen. Where are we? Alright, what's up, what's up? What's up, Mark, Randa, Rudy Gal, Sly Angel, Sweet Misery, Blonde Gypsy. Who else we got? That's all I see so far. Wait, what? More than a month to a scam artist that promised her $2 million and she hasn't seen it and never will. It's been what are you talking about? Okay. It's a conversation that I know nothing about. So, what's up, what's up? Sorry I haven't been around much. I've been super busy. I wasn't even going to go live tonight, but I'm like, oh my God, it's been like 2 days. So I decided to go live. I have been enthralled in this Texas floods. Headstones and headlines got me into it, and I haven't stopped watching about it. Another thing I want to say, subscriptions are going out in the morning. I promise. I got a doctor's appointment at 8:45. Then I'm going right to UPS. All you guys will get a notification tonight. I'm, packing it up tonight, and you guys will get them tomorrow. So I just want to throw that out there. And for the rest of you, don't forget, energykcandles.com. But I've been enthralled in this Texas. I don't even know why this hit me so hard. But like I was watching it, I slept like 14 hours last night, but I woke up like after 8 hours, and then I woke up again after another couple of hours, and I turned it on and I was like crying. I'm like, I don't know if it's because I've sent my kids to sleepaway camp. It's just crazy. And the sick part is, people are trying to blame Trump. I don't care if you like Trump or hate Trump. He's not Mother Nature. And I don't think that 26 feet in less than 45 minutes, I don't think there's anything Trump could have done or a news reporter could have done. I really believe it's just one of those natural disasters, but I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but I know the whole left side of America wants to fucking blame Trump. Celebrities are blaming Trump. Anyone that hates Trump is blaming Trump. So I think it's interesting. It really kind of depends what side you're on, if you're on the right or if you're on the left. Because if you're on the left, it's all Trump's fault. Which I kind of understand why they're saying it's Trump's fault. But he has no control over Mother Nature, and I don't think any newscaster could have predicted this. And the reason I say that, so we have local, we have this guy, James something, who regardless does media report, meteorology, whatever. I can't even fucking think straight. But, and I hate to say this because it's going to sound so fucking stupid, but if you guys watch him, you'll know what I mean. Hey, East Coast, you'll know what I mean. Max Velocity, Ryan, they are so fucking on point. Every single newscast, they have been on point everywhere. They didn't predict this, which tells me nobody could have predicted it. And that's why I'm saying, to say that, YouTuber, but Max Velocity, like I said, has been on fucking point for every single news report, every single newscaster. Every single weather report. He has been on fucking point. And he didn't predict this. Either did Ryan Hall. So that's why it's the only reason I don't think that meteorologists would have been able to predict this. I'm just saying. And I'm not... Oh, you know what? My fucking microphone's not even turned on. Hold on. What the fuck? Damn dog. Hold on. Is it better now? No, I'm probably on mute. Is it better now? Now it should be better. Better? It should be a lot clearer. I hope it is. Is it clearer? Better? Clearer? Going once, going twice? 3 times a lady. Hey, headstones. Do I sound better? Don't make me sing again. All right, everyone stop saying hi to headstones and let me know about my sound. I'm fine. Okay. Does it sound better, though? Hey, Smiley. Does it sound better? I sound the same? Well, that's kind of weird. Mr. Candle event? What's a Mr. Candle event? I didn't have a Mr. Candle event. I had a candle event. It was okay. It was hot as fuck. But it was okay. Thank you, Verika. Because then you were going to make me sing again. Once, twice. Yeah, it was good. It was alright. I'm going to do it every Saturday, I think. Next week, I'll bring an air conditioner. And this way, my candles won't melt to shit. Now, I had to order a new tent, so I ordered that today. And hopefully it'll come in by Saturday. Alright, so back to this. I am so like in awe over this. But the fact that, and like I said, I hate to say, use YouTubers as a guideline, but the bottom line is Max Velocity and Ryan Hall have yet to be wrong. They've literally have yet to be wrong. And as far as I know, neither one had this predicted. So that's why I don't think anything Trump could have done could have changed that. Just my opinion. I might be wrong. But it's just so sad. And I wanted to play some videos that kind of touched me or blew me away. Now, has anyone not really been following this at all? And if you have been following it, a couple of hours ago, I was going to go live right after, but I had to go to the store. They said that 2 girls were discovered, 2 girls were found alive. Well, it turns out that story turned out to be false. There's no, no, she's wearing a hat. There's no 2 girls that were found alive. I don't know who broke the story. I don't know why the story happened, but totally sad. I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me that people are making up fake stories. But yeah, that story about 2 girls being found alive is not true. Now, there was one earlier, or not today, yesterday, about 1 girl being found alive. That is true. The one that went 20 miles downstream, that one is 100% true. But for some reason, this fake story that 2 girls were found in a tree, and no, there was only 1 girl found in a tree. And the funniest part is, I'm going to show you guys this too. There's people on Twitter, there's people on Facebook that's fucking putting out there, yeah, my husband helped find him, find the girls. They weren't 25 feet up. They were 50 feet up. Yeah, how stupid do you fucking look now, idiot? This is why people lie on Facebook and why people say don't ever trust anybody on Facebook, like ever. Because everyone in Facebook on these fucking groups lie their ass off. Hold on, let me get back to Twitter. Oh, I shut it down. Hold on. Oh, I am so tired. I don't even know why I slept like fucking 14 hours last night. Alright, hold on. Don't mind dog eating bone. Oh, so the paper then changed their story. Someone tagged JLR. Where'd this other story go? I don't know where this other one went. Ah! Sorry. I don't know where this other one went. There was somebody that showed the Facebook post that for some reason I lost it now. Early report of girls rescued, tree proven false. Hang on. Which is so sad. Like, why fucking lie about it? Some people just need attention so desperately. Let's see.
Publishers note, we want to address something important and deeply disappointing. Earlier today, we shared a story about two girls being rescued from a tree. We've since learned that this story is not true. This has been incredibly difficult for our entire team. We take full responsibility
and want to be as transparent and direct as possible. The initial report came from a man named Cord Shiflett, who was on the ground actively searching for survivors. He shared a live video on his Facebook that two girls had been found alive, 27 feet up in a tree. This information was shared with conviction, and several individuals echoed it, claiming to have first-hand knowledge and reliable sources. Based on that confidence, and the urgency of the situation, we moved forward with publishing the story. We were wrong. We were misled, and in our hope to believe and share what we thought was a moment of light, we unintentionally spread misinformation. John Wells, publisher. Two girls found alive near Comfort after catastrophic flooding in Kerr County. According to a Facebook Live video from Cord Shiflett, who is involved in search operations near Comfort, two girls have been found alive in a tree after catastrophic floods struck the hill country on Friday. The two girls, who have not been identified, were found approximately 27 feet up in a tree between Comfort and Hollis Road in Center Point, according to Shiflett. They had been holding on for over a day, and they found them 6 miles downriver, he said in the video. Shiflett also reported that a man's body was retrieved from debris. Two female bodies were found in a car and one unidentified fourth body was found at the site. This is a developing story.
That was a bullshit story. So sad. So one thing that I haven't heard from, and I'm going to play with you guys, is what they actually went through. Like, if you were in the camp. And I found a girl from Fox News that is in the camp. So bear with me 1 second. Whoop, wrong one.
Is all right. Both of them join us now. Tara, this camp has been a big part of your daughter's life.
It has been a huge part of her life since she entered at the end of second grade. This is her 8th year, it was her 8th year. We chose this camp. I was a Texan. It was important to me that my child have Texas roots and that faith formation be integral to the part of her camp experience. Living in Virginia, we brought her to Camp Mystic and turned her over to the Dick and Tweety Eastland family and Camp Mystic and their staff because we knew they would love on our child. They would help her grow in her faith and live the Mystic ideals of being a better person and bringing out the best in her. And we are so devastated by
Okay, no wonder the girl was rolling her eyes at her mother. I would too.
what has happened, but truly grateful and thankful to the Eastland family for all they have done and all they have given as a family to save the children that they could. It is devastating for us and for the Mystic Sisterhood to have lost so many children and for so many children to wait. But we are here today because we feel as though it is so important that this story remain in the news. There are children out there that need to be found, and we want the EMS and national federal services and the state services.
This girl's face is like, Mom, can you shut up? This is my story, not yours.
is to continue to stay on the job as they have said they are going to, because we have children that need to be found and need to be reunited with their parents. And we are a truly blessed and fortunate family, and we want the same for others. We want those children to be found.
Callie, the fact that you are, I guess, one of the older campers, you're 16, right? And that put you up on
Yes,
Senior
sir.
Hill, and that's part of the reason you're alive today.
Yes, sir.
Take us back to the night of July 3rd. I guess everybody in your cabin, is that what you call them, went to bed?
Yeah.
Everything seemed normal?
We went to bed thinking it was just a normal thunderstorm. One minute you see lightning strike next to your cabin, and next you hear water's coming up, and you have kids running, just trying to get to other cabins, trying to get to safety. And luckily my cabin was one of the few cabins that did not get water, but the cabins in front of us did get some water.
Even up on Senior Hill. And I think, John, that conveys to you how fast the water came up, and how high it came, and how it was a 100-year historic flash flood. We had never seen anything like this. And I cannot say enough about what these young counselors did to calm these girls and to ensure their safety, and what the men and the staff and the Eastland family did to try to help everyone that they could. They are heroes. And those young girls and those young counselors that when our young girls were
Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick, but they own the camp. It's their responsibility for all these kids. So of course they're going to do their best to help. You know they're going to get sued. I would. So I don't know why it's, oh, they're heroes, but they did their job. Period. End of story.
were under for the summer were remarkable, and were brave, and were strong, and saved so many children, and kept so many children calm, so that decisions could be made to keep other girls safe and move them to safety.
So how did that happen, Callie? You had water coming into your cabin, and what, counselors alerted you? How did you, what
We
happened?
heard so we heard 1 second it was really bad thunder. Like I woke up to a big giant sound of thunder and lightning striking. We heard we had one of the campers run in and say, "Hey, our cabin's flooding." And we had some cabins. I knew some girls slept on trunks that night. Some girls had to share beds. Some girls slept on floors because they couldn't go back to their cabin because it was so flooded in 3 cabins. And the next morning, we had some of the older girls went back to their cabin to see if they could find anything. I remember one girl walked out with her Bible, and she was so happy just to have her Bible.
It's my understanding that you put on your name tag in the middle of the night. What was that all about?
I put on my name tag because I was scared that if water was coming out next to our other cabins, that our cabin might be next. And I just put it on just for safekeeping, saying in my head I was saying, if something does happen and I do get swept away, at least I'll have my name on my body.
I want to say something about that as a parent. My husband and I are both Department of Defense. I'm a retiree, and we have both spent many times in war zones on behalf of this nation. And we have spoken to our child more times than I can count.
Can you imagine being 16 and thinking like that? I couldn't. And yes, I got tears in my eyes.
About how to keep your child safe in an environment. This was not an environment we had ever thought we would have to prepare her for. And that comment to me as a parent, when she got off that helicopter and finally came into my arms and I saw this name tag on her, and it was the camp name tag she was issued on the day she arrived. It resonated with me that somewhere those little lessons that we gave her as parents years ago and throughout her life resonated with her in that moment. And we're just so thankful, but so devastated for so many families and her friends that are missing their siblings. She's missing her friends, that there are no answers. We just ask that we keep God's light in the middle of this incredible tragedy, and that we know He can give us miracles, and we just have to believe that these children and these families in Kerr County, there are so many lost, that we can recover these bodies, that we can recover those that are still clinging to hope out there. And we're just so grateful and thankful for all that the National Guard has done, Kerr County sheriffs, police, emergency management services, the governor, the federal administration, to continue to stay on the job day and night. It is what it will take to get to that point. And we know we have months ahead of us to help our child, and many will need help. This is a lot emotionally for anyone. And it's something.
I'm just kind of curious why two military parents have to send their kid to camp to learn how to become a woman, that they couldn't do it themselves. Was she that hard of a kid? I couldn't believe, after hearing that woman say that, I just figured, all right, maybe, they're not good parents, but they're two military defense. You can't raise one kid? Okay.
As parents, we owe our child to try to be strong for her and to ensure that she also has the help she needs moving forward.
Yeah, Callie, you've had to go through a lot at a very young age. You've lost friends. Give us your final thoughts before we say goodbye about this experience that you've been through.
I really hope those kids that are missing are found. I knew a lot of those kids, and a lot of those kids the night before hugged me before we all went to bed. And it's hard to think about that. One minute they were hugging me, and the next minute they could be gone.
It must have been good to
And
see.
we will just continue to cling to our faith.
Yeah, must have been
that
good.
They will be found.
It must have been good to see that rescue chopper coming in.
Yes, it was really well.
Tara Bradburn and Callie McAlery, her daughter, we thank you both. And Callie McAlery, her daughter.
Did he say Terry McAloney, her daughter?
And Callie McAlery, her daughter.
He did say that.
We thank you both. And Callie, we're very glad you're alive.
Thank you.
God bless.
Oh, maxillary? I just said macaroni. I was like, that's my maiden name. All right. That was one thing. So, yes, there was a female camp director who passed. I'm not sure which camp she was in. Yeah, Camp Mystic counselor died in Texas flooding. She was female. Her name was Chloe Childress. She was a counselor at Camp Mystic. She was killed during the floods. She graduated from the Kincaid School early in the year and was set to attend University of Texas in Austin. Jonathan Eads, who is the head of the Kincaid School, remembered Child as someone who had remarkable way of making people feel seen and steadily compassion. So yes, it was a female. No, it was a female. Oh yeah, she was a counselor. Hey, Be Real. But look at these pictures. That was the counselor that passed. Look at that. So this was 2 hours ago. It said at least 78 people. Last I heard it was 80. They're saying at least 11 of the 750 female campers and counselors, including childless, died in the flooding. So it rose 26 feet in 45 minutes. Yeah, the male director, female counselor.
Those incredible stories of survival. Hundreds of people have been rescued so far, some desperately clinging to trees and rooftops.
Now that's the girl in the tree that's legit. Some guy, this happened yesterday, but some guy heard her screaming, "Help me, help me, help me." This one was legit. There was a female counselor that died. I just showed you and read the story. Counselor, not director. The female counselor from Camp Mystic that died in the flooding.
To stay safe from the rapidly rising floodwaters. And as we noted earlier, our Maria Villarreal is with the U.S. Coast Guard tonight.
Tonight, we're in the air with the U.S. Coast Guard as they aid in the rescue efforts in central Texas.
Right now, we're hovering over the waters of the river about 40 miles down from where those camps were predominantly affected. This is where a lot of the debris has built up in this area.
The search made even more difficult by the dense forest below.
Talk about the importance of the technology on this particular plane that maybe differs from what we're seeing out there.
We got a FLIR camera on the front of the aircraft. You can see that.
I didn't say anything about a female director. I said a counselor. I just read the story. A counselor at Camp Mystic also passed. That's the story I just said.
There, it's that little black ball turret up there, but it is a very good camera that we have, and it's also an infrared camera, so we can find heat signatures.
More than 400 first responders from 20 different agencies helping rescue nearly 1,000 people since Friday. Juliet Weldon and her husband were two of them, swept away by the floodwaters.
We came out and it was already raging.
They held on to branches as they called 911 for help.
What's been the hardest for you?
You're calling for help and there's nobody. Where are they?
Crews eventually reached Juliet and her husband, pulling them to safety. But she says they didn't get adequate warning about the potential threat.
They didn't say, seriously, you better be careful. This is like we have this many, however inches of rain coming here and you will all be washed away.
Officials continue to
What's wild is that is just water. That's not a hurricane. That's not a tornado. That's not crazy winds. That's fucking water. That's how insane flooding can be.
Say this kind of catastrophic event is something no one could have predicted.
The moment in time when they knew the magnitude of the water, it's a difficult decision whether or not to begin evacuating people or not, because if you have a warning telling everybody to evacuate, you could actually lead them to their death.
It is raining now once again in this area.
Now, that's the other half of Trump. A lot of people are saying that they could not, even if they had warning, they would have been in their cars and they would have been killed anyway. So that's why I don't know why everybody is blaming Trump, because the governor just said it. They would have been wiped away on the road, and that happened to a lot of people. They were on the roads and they got washed away.
And weather conditions can determine whether or not a plane, a helicopter can be in the air safely. But regardless, this crew that we were with today, they are committed to the mission of finding those missing people. No matter how long it takes, it is a sentiment that has been shared by local and state authorities. Days, weeks, or even longer.
Yes, a massive operation. Maria, thank you.
But we do now. So get any medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust.
See, here I'm seeing that its toll is 78 as of 17 minutes ago. But they keep changing it. And another thing I heard from the lefties is that Trump signed a disaster declaration, but it wasn't enough money at first, and then he added more money once he found out there was a congressman involved. All right. No, that was a couple of hours ago. Press conference. Oh, that was earlier. All right. They haven't released all the names, have they? Okay. Dick Eastland was the counselor or Camp Mystic director who passed.
Camp Mystic director dies while trying to save kids during Texas flooding. The camp director and co-owner of Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas, died in the catastrophic flooding as he reportedly raced to save the lives of his young campers. Dick Eastland, who purchased the camp in 1974, died after the wall of water crashed through the Christian summer camp, which is located along the banks of the Guadalupe River, Texas Public Radio reported. The report cited a Facebook post from Eastland's nephew, though the post has since been taken down. Counselors, former campers, and politicians who knew Eastland.
So he wasn't technically the director, he was technically the owner, because it says he bought the camp.
Eastland praised him for his heroic actions and ultimate sacrifice to save his campers. Camp Mystic's Dick Eastland no doubt gave his life attempting to save his campers. Representative August Pfluger, Republican, Texas, wrote on X. For decades, he and his wife Tweety poured his life into loving and developing girls and women of character. Thank you, Mr. Eastland. We love you and miss you. Pfluger said 2 of his daughters were at the camp when it was evacuated during the flooding, and they have since been reunited. Paige Sumner, a former camper and friend of Eastland, wrote in Kerrville Daily Times that Eastland, was the father figure to all of us during summers at the camp. It doesn't surprise me at all that his last act of kindness and sacrifice was working to save the lives of campers, Sumner wrote. He had already saved so many lives with the gift of Camp Mystic. Kathleen Somerville, a camp counselor at Camp Mystic Cypress Lake location, told Fox News Live on Sunday that the camp director was among the most selfless men in the whole world. He was an inspiration to so many, she said. He was a father figure, a comforting force in the uncertainty of everything. He guided us in our faith and our activities. He always told us to make new friends and to share our love with everyone. There were 750 attendees at the camp when the catastrophic flood happened. Over a dozen campers were confirmed dead as of Sunday afternoon, Kerr County officials said. 1 counselor and 11 campers remained unaccounted for. The death toll across central Texas climbed to nearly 70 on Sunday. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha told reporters during a news conference Sunday morning that of the 59 confirmed dead, there were 38 adults and 21 children. Authorities have reported 4 deaths in Travis County, 3 in Burnett and 1 in Kendall.
You know, if you think about it, though, with 750 campers, that they only lost under 100, that's pretty good. That could have been way more catastrophic. They could have lost 750 campers. Do you know what I mean? So 10%, much better than how catastrophic it actually could have been, because it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Alabama didn't legalize online cannabis. Are they fucking crazy? They just banned hemp. That's old. This is crazy, though. I mean, look at that. Again, that's just water. Could you imagine being the parent of one of these kids? Holy fuck. Hmm? That's a car or an RV. That's a car. It's a photograph. Cinnamon, because I think, this is just personal feeling, I think that what they're going to do first, though, they want to get all the people first, then they can mourn the rest. It's kind of like 9/11. When 9/11 happened, people were blown to pieces. People were jumping out windows. But until they had a full synopsis of everyone that died, that's when they started mourning people. I think this is the same thing. I think that's why they're focused on the people that are still missing, because they need the whole picture. Look at that. Whoa. See, the one thing we don't know if there's people in these cars. Were they cars that were just taken from the road? Are people in them? That's crazy. And again, this is just water. Yeah, it was an all-girls Christian camp. I was going to make a joke about it being a Christian camp, but probably not a good time. So let me go back to the beginning. For those that aren't really familiar or that familiar with the story, everything happened so quickly, and in the end, like, people just went camping. They went, to an RV park near the water for July 4th, because where do you see the best fireworks? Near water. That's where everybody blows up fireworks. So you had all of these families all over Texas, people that weren't even from Texas, that went to the Guatemala River for 4th of July. Almost every single RV park got wiped away. No warning. Everything happened in the middle of the night. So you had people that woke up and they're being carried down the road. Their trailers are flipping. Their RVs are flipping. They're getting kicked out of their own RVs. One woman said, the one that was rescued from a tree, she unfortunately lost her entire family, but she traveled 20 miles. She was avoiding refrigerators that were coming at her and dryers that were coming at her and all this wreckage that was coming at her. Somehow she managed to survive. Her parents, not so lucky. Her mom, her dad, all passed away. They found them. I think they found them, but they're gone. But imagine just flying down the ocean 20 fucking miles. That's a lot. Not knowing if you were going to make it or not. And I think she was naked when she was found. I don't know if her clothes got ripped off, if she ripped off her clothes. I remember hearing she was naked. But imagine that. Imagine, like, not knowing if you were going to live or die. 20 miles is a long way. Get in your car and drive 20 miles. Think about it. 20 miles. Johnny, you starting shit. You better not be. There was one girl in the tree. That's the one I'm talking about. There was a girl that was found. The water took her clothes. I remember hearing she was naked. But, I mean, get in your car and drive 20 miles. Think about it. I don't even know how she landed on a tree. John, stop. Now you got a timeout. Sorry, Evil Queen. I don't know. John, I know John a long time. He gets in his moods. So, my apologies. All the men in my life today are fucking up. Bad Wolf fucked up today. Now John fucked up today. What's up with the men in my life? Whoa, look at this. Oh, now it's 82 dead. Curtis County has 68, Williamson has 1, Burnett have 4, Tom Green 1, Travis County 6, Kendall 2. And these are older. Oh, hold on. Where'd that go? Holy shit, look at this. That's Camp Mystic. Look at that. Hey, Criminal Man. It's supposed to start raining again. Good one, Weed Monger. Yeah, more rains to come. Did you guys hear about this? Skydiving plane crashed across Keys Airport. Is a mass casualty event. 15 people rushed to the hospital. Happened around 5:30 p.m. That's kind of scary. I think I heard something about it yesterday. Hey, Jiggy. The individual rush trauma. That's rush hour. Cooper University Hospital in Camden, while another 8 are receiving. It doesn't seem like anyone died. 4 more patients, minimal injuries. Five-year-old girl plunged from a Disney cruise ship with her father diving in to rescue her. Rumors began swirling surrounding the terrifying incident. Officers have since clarified the facts of the case. Her came aboard a Disney cruise ship last weekend when a little girl tumbled into the Atlantic Ocean from the 4th deck. Fortunately, her family has since faced further distress, with police forced to shut down cruel rumors. On Sunday, during a return journey from Fort Lauderdale, from the Bahamas, the 5-year-old girl plunged into the waters of the 14-deck Disney cruise ship, to the horror of hundreds of onlooking passengers. Thankfully, there was a hero on hand to save the day in true Disney fashion, the girl's devoted father, who leapt over the railings into the unforgiving waves after her. 37-year-old managed to keep his young daughter's head above water. Witnesses later shared that the pair tread water for approximately 10 minutes while staff set out to bring them back to safety using a yellow rescue boat. Passenger by the name of Laura Amado told CBS the ship was moving quickly, so quickly, it's crazy how quickly the people became tiny dots in the sea, and then you lost sight of them. Captain slowed the ship and turned it around, then they deployed a tender ship with people on it to go get them, and we saw them rescue the dad and daughter. Unfortunately, interest in the story has sparked inaccurate rumors about how the child ended up in the water, with the finger of blame wrongly pointed at the father. It was falsely claimed that the heroic dad had lifted the youngster on top of a 3.5-foot railing as to take a picture, only for her to fall backwards in an accident that could have been catastrophic. However, officers in the Broward County office said since shut down this theory, revealing the truth behind these allegations, setting the record straight. In a statement, the child had been sitting on the railing when she dropped backwards through a porthole. However, the father didn't put her there and hadn't even been present when the accident unfolded. Sheriff said after the girl's mother alerted the husband, who didn't see the incident, he jumped in the ocean to save his daughter. BSO detectives said the 37-year-old father found his daughter. He treaded water until they were rescued by a tender boat that was launched from the ship. Fuck yeah, I would have jumped in after my kid too. Police confirmed that the vessel's security video corroborated statements from staff and the family about what happened. The brave dad was reportedly hurt as he battled to rescue his daughter and was hospitalized, but police have not given further details. Crew aboard the Disney Dream swiftly rescued 2 guests from the water. We commend our crew members for their exceptional skills and prompt. That's sad. But I'm glad Dad saved them. But yeah, I would have fucking jumped in too. I don't understand though how a kid, how do you let your kid get that close to the edge? I don't know if you ever been on a cruise, but I've been on cruises and I don't know, I can't see myself letting my kid get that close to an edge. You got a high IQ if you could spot hiding an elephant in 15 seconds. I see the elephant. But guess what? I don't have a high IQ. I have an average IQ. Alright, you said you sent me something on Facebook? I get a headache. Hold on. Which email did you send it to? Hey, eavesdropper. Do 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 do. No, that's not true. Sly, do you not read? That was all a lie. He wasn't even around. That's what I just read. He wasn't even around. He didn't plop her up there. He wasn't even there when she fell. The mother told him she fell. That's all the rumors that they were straightening up. That he didn't do that. That's the rumors. That the police station stopped. Did you not just read? Did you not just hear the article I just read? The police put an end to those rumors. The security footage from the cruise ship coincided what the guy said. The guy wasn't even there. The guy's wife told him what happened to the baby, and he jumped right in to get her immediately. And Fort Lauderdale and the police, Broward County, dispelled the rumors that he propped her up there because camera footage showed that's not true. That was a lie. See, what I keep thinking about, look at the debris. Think about going 20 miles with that debris. And just look at the way debris is. Imagine what a person, like, I do not know how that girl survived. No, Criminal Med, the girl traveled 20 miles. She landed in a tree after 20 miles. Both her parents are dead. And I think there was another person with them that's dead. Somehow she went 20 miles downstream and survived and finally grabbed onto a tree or something. But like we know the Guatemala happened overnight, so I'm not sure what this is. All right, they're saying this is the Guatemala River. Yesterday. So we're only a quarter way in. And I mean, we're only 5 minutes in of a 40-minute video. He said it's start to finish. Look how high the trees are already. After only like an eighth into the video, the trees are half under already. Guadalupe, that's what I said, isn't it? What did I say? I could have sworn I said Guadalupe. What was I saying? Oh, did I say Guatemala? I'm sorry. Guadalupe. I'm sorry. I told you guys, I got a fucking headache from hell. So why didn't anyone correct me? So headstones, I don't understand. When did he record this? The video is from yesterday. The guy claims that it's from beginning to breach of the center something bridge. Center point, thank you. July 4th. Now, was he looking for a body? Like, was he looking for bodies, or was he just filming this to film it? Like, I'm actually surprised he didn't see bodies, or he didn't see anybody. Now, I don't know much about like water currents, but I find it interesting that the water is picking up so much speed when it's hitting so many blocks. Like usually if you're in the water and you know, hit a bunch of rocks, it slows you down. But it's like, this is fierce. No matter what, it's taking no prisoners and just going. And it's picking up speed even when it's hitting obstacles, which is very weird. Was this guy not nervous that his bridge was going to collapse? I know I would have been. I don't know why he's not worried. Yeah, you're right. People are driving over it like it's no big deal. Like, okay, bye-bye. Fuck that. Oh no, there's a dude standing there. He's recording it firsthand. What's so sad about this, though, all the people that died, hey Johnny, did they get hit by a rock? Did they drown? Like, it's sad to think that this is the river that they were going down and how fast it was. And I mean, think about being 11. I can't even imagine. Dude, that whole fucking tree just got engulfed. An entire fucking tree. Look how close that is to the bridge, and this guy's still standing on it, and people still driving over it. Do they not know what's going on? I mean, they can clearly see how high it is. And they see some guy recording it.
This is it.
It's approximately 45 minutes from Camp Mystic. Okay, so now we're about halfway through the video. We've already seen half trees just get totally engulfed. Totally engulfed. Okay, call me crazy. I'm enjoying the guy's video, but the guy should turn down the video, call the police, and tell them to shut down the bridge. No, it's 45 minutes away. So that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that he hasn't seen anybody. I don't know. I'm like, dude, I think it's time to get off the bridge. But no, we still got 20 minutes left. Look at that tree. Another tree completely fucking engulfed. That's insane. You see that? I don't know why my cursor's not working, but look in the back to the right. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be driving like 90 miles an hour over that bridge. I hate to say it, but that looked like blood. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that legit looked like blood. Look. Look at the pile that comes up. You see that? That looks like blood. Like literally looks like blood. Do you see what I'm talking about? How stupid are these people sitting on the fucking bridge? Like, oh my god, people, get over the bridge. Laundry, I'm wondering the same thing. How they have not closed this bridge yet and kicked him off, I have no idea.
Time's up, guys.
Holy fuck, that's a house. That's legit a fucking house.
Ah, there's a cat in there. There's a cat.
There are people inside that house. You saw this open. That's a fucking house. People are in it.
Went to the cat from the outside. Hold on, little buddy. Alright, I think that's all she wrote.
Damn, crazy video. I never thought I'd be interested in watching a river. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. I can't believe they didn't shut down the bridge. Insane. Yeah, the water definitely went over. But if there was somebody still alive in that house, which I don't know if there was, but they would be able to be saved at this point. They may have. We don't know if they did or didn't. That was crazy, though. Let's see if he posted anything else. Oh. No, that was it. That's crazy. Alright, before I get off, let's check the toll one more time. Uh, 14 minutes ago, Associated Press. So I guess they found one camper Death toll remains at 82 and 10 campers remain missing. So they must have found another one. Kirk County, from Camp Mystic, they found 68 people and 28 kids. Let me show you guys. That's crazy. Two school-age sisters from Dallas were missing after their cabin was swept away. Their parents were staying in a different cabin and were safe, but the girls' grandparents were unaccounted for. Look at that. The National Weather Service on Thursday advised of potential flooding and then sent out a series of flash flood warnings in the early hours of Friday before issuing flash flood emergencies, a rare alert notifying of imminent danger. So how are they saying it's Trump's fault? There was warnings. Trump asked whether he was still planning to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency, said that was something we could talk about later, but right now we are busy working. He had previously said he wants to overhaul, if not completely eliminate FEMA, and has been sharply critical of its performance. Well, he's kind of right in a sense. Trump was asked whether he planned to rehire any of the federal meteorologists who were fired this year as part of widespread government spending. I would think not. This was a thing that happened in seconds. Nobody expected it. Nobody saw it. Very talented people there and didn't see it. He's not wrong. And for me personally, I don't even understand FEMA, because to me, FEMA pockets a lot of their money and a lot of people don't get help. If they're getting money from the government anyway, why do we need FEMA? If you're getting it from the government, just get it. So he's not totally wrong. Yeah, but a meteorologist wouldn't have done that either. They were warned. There were alerts. Officials had been monitoring, and it seemed, what I read earlier too, that they're in like a flash flood area. That even though it's like kind of living in a hurricane area where you know the potential is there, you just hope that it doesn't happen. Yeah, FEMA does shit. So that's why I'm saying I don't think he's so wrong for that. FEMA does absolutely nothing. Except, like, oh, we don't have enough money left. Fuck you. You get it from the government. What do you mean you have no money left? I never cared for FEMA, to be honest. And he's right. FEMA's bullshit. Because, again, if it's coming from the government anyway, then you don't need FEMA. Just get it from the government. So I can't say he's totally wrong for that. But on that note, I have a fucking headache from hell. I'm getting off. I got to be up super early for the doctor. So I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Hopefully death toll doesn't rise to 92. I doubt it, but hopefully they'll find some kids alive somewhere. Hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't rise too much. But like I said, I've been following this story. So I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Prayers for those in Texas. And hopefully we won't get more rain. All right. I will